Lebanon is really hurting right now. And if you see all of the graphics, if you see all the videos, especially the one with the bride, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a filmmaker making a video and he was panning it through the bride's dress, and all of a sudden you just hear explosion in the background, and it was so scary, like just watching it. So the emotions that go through you when watching that, I can't do it any justice. It was one of the worst explosions of history.
On August 4th, an explosion rocked Beirut, Lebanon. Prior to this occurrence, Lebanon was already suffering under a dysfunctional government, extreme poverty, and economic collapse. Lebanon needs our help now more than ever. Welcome to the Outspoken Narrative. Lebanon had been plagued by economic insecurity for many years. In 1970, shortly after the Lebanese Civil War, which resulted in an estimated 120,000 fatalities, Lebanon began rebuilding and inadvertently launched himself into a debt crisis. Without the proper government structure in place, things began to go wrong. In 2005, there were 14 bombings and assassinations in Lebanon. The government began experiencing further instability. In 2006, the Lebanon-Israel war resulted in mass casualties on both ends, but Lebanon suffered worse due to massive socio-economic losses, rising tensions within the country, and a deep division amongst the people. In 2011, the Syrian civil war broke out, and a spillover occurred into Lebanon, with a series of attacks all throughout the country. Debt grew at a consistent rate, and by 2019, Lebanon had a debt equivalent to 170% of its GDP. Going into 2020, Lebanon was still struggling. The power grid functioned only 2 to 4 hours a day, causing traffic lights to fail. The city shopping centers were deserted, and the price of goods had nearly tripled, while the value of the national currency had fallen by 80%. Now we find ourselves on August 4th, 2020. People suffocated as the sky turned gray and debris flew everywhere. This is a disastrous time for the people in Lebanon. An explosion of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate has overwhelmed medical services, destroyed property and businesses, and left many without homes to go back to. It has killed 78 people and injured nearly 4,000, and those numbers are rising.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, those blasts were really big. The Beruit Explosion follows as the third biggest explosion in history. If that puts you into perspective here, all of Toronto would have been gone if it were to hit Canada, and all of Chicago would be gone if it were to hit Illinois. So those are very big cities, okay? And just to put it into more perspective, this blast was heard from 150 miles away. So people felt aftershock even from Beirut,
This explosion has brought about a great deal of uncertainty. Uncertainty for the citizens as well as the government.
Lebanon's Prime Minister Hassan Diab addressed the nation, promising that the victims would get justice for what happened.
It will not pass without accountability. Those responsible for this catastrophe will pay the price. This is a promise to the martyrs and injured. This is a national commitment.
There was a shipment or an accidental shipment of ammonium nitrate that came into the city in 2013, and it's been sitting in their factory since on the port. So there's this one big factory, and they were just storing it in there. And usually ammonium nitrate is used for agriculture purposes or fireworks. So it was for use for something commercial, but it was shipped to them on accident. And the government didn't handle it well, because even though the people kept saying, okay, there's ammonium nitrate in there, or the workers, they were kind of confused, why is it there? The government never responded to it. So the people that were opening up, the ammonium nitrate that day just got unlucky, because those people went in and they opened the doors of the factory and it just combust. So that's kind of what caused it. And so the government now is I haven't really heard much coming out of the government as far as a response, but the people are very unhappy with it because it could have been prevented, because the ammonium nitrate shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
From 2014 to 2017, Lebanese officials wrote letters to the courts multiple times. They were asking as to how to dispose of this risky and life-threatening material. Had actions been taken earlier, they may have been able to get rid of it and avert the current crisis Lebanon is experiencing. Many citizens are blaming the government for their poor leadership in the past years and lack of changing things for the better. The question which remains is, what can we do to help? There are a few ways that people can help donate money to the people in Lebanon that suffered through the blast that occurred recently. A few organizations that are willing to do this are Lebanese Red Cross, Just Giving, Impact Lebanon, and Save the Children.
So you don't want to just go for any third-party org or, just anything that you don't seem matches up, because sometimes those proceeds may not entirely even go to where you intend. And we even see this with the Yemen crisis, which I also did a lot of reporting for, so I can kind of speak on behalf of this. A lot of times when I reported on these things, I was told, this donation source isn't exactly clear on where the proceeds are sending. So anything that's change.org, I'm not entirely sure. So I would avoid anything that's a petition or change.org, because petitions aren't going to do anything for you. I'm sorry, it's true. All you're doing is signing your name and that's it. What's the government gonna do? Because you're all the way here. So, it's just not reliable. The most reliable way is to send donation, so money, and also blood. So if you're near Lebanon, they're in a dire need of blood. A couple of the ones that I researched for you just for this. One is called Impact Lebanon, and they also have an Instagram page, impact.lebanon, and they just assist with the disaster relief effort. So if you need any information or just, need guidance, then that's definitely the place to go. And then also the Lebanese Food Bank. So again, I feel like this would work a little easier if you're around that Arab area, but obviously from here, I'm not entirely sure how it would work, again, with the blood. So blood and food bank, those are two big things that they need right now. And if you're able to donate, then definitely do it. And then the Lebanese Red Cross is the most reliable as far as I'm aware. If that does change, then I will definitely let you know. But there was a big influx of traffic on their website the other day, so it crashed. So I was told that I should plug the app. So the Lebanese Red Cross app is the best place to send donations. And there's a whole step-by-step tutorial on how to navigate it, how to send donations. And I know that they're sending the first round of donations soon, so I can send you information on that as well. Right. But that is the most important one right now. Lebanese Red Cross, that they're going to send most if not all. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I can't really say, right. But most reliable. And then the food bank and the blood bank also need donations. So if you're near that area, definitely go for it.
Lebanon has a history of coming back stronger with every situation that gets thrown at them. The resilience that the citizens of Lebanon have to build themselves back up is truly astonishing, but they shouldn't have to go through this alone anymore. We are going to stand with them and help them recover through this tragedy. Donate to the Lebanese Red Cross using the app online and encourage others to do so as well. Share this video to raise awareness for Lebanon and to support the cause.